So I'll give my thoughts and opinions of this video that was posted today by Marquise Brownlee of his Galaxy Z Flip 5 review. Now, he did a Galaxy Z Fold 5 and Flip 5 together, but he did another review for the Z Flip 5. The reason why is because he said I was wrong. Now, what he doesn't do in this video, which actually I didn't really know about until somebody told me down below in my comic section, was that you can actually have any application running on this outside display. There's a certain application you can download in the Play Store that lets you be able to customize anything on the outside display, so you don't just have to run what Samsung, already has, made for the outside display. So that's definitely something interesting. It makes it very comparable to the Motorola Razr. But in this video, he's talking about how he was wrong and how this phone is probably the best foldable/flippable phone on the market for the average consumer. And I'll tell you right now, I 1000% agree, right? If you look at the market where, obtainable phones, Oppo has one of the best, but they're not obtainable, right? OnePlus, they're not coming out with a flippable version. So we don't know anything about that at this moment in time. So the only options is the Motorola Razr Plus or the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Now, out of those two options, again, both are really great, but the Z Flip 5 does give you that extra horsepower of that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, 8GB of RAM, beautiful inside display, beautiful outside display, both running 120 Hz. And again, there's a lot of different applications that are optimized for this outside display as he shows here. But you can also, again, run whatever outside display you want to. And of course, just like the Razr, you can also take selfie pictures with the outside display, which honestly probably is one of the core features of the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Now, other things he talks about in this video is, of course, the brand new Hinge and how the Hinge has been improved. He also shows off this where you can actually answer texts on the outside display, which I'm going to tell you right now I probably would never do, just because the keyboard seemed freaking awful to use, and I couldn't imagine using that small of a keyboard on that small of a screen. That's why I've said many times when it comes to this outside display, it's not bad, but it definitely is one of those things where I would use it for only select cases, right? So, like, for example, if I'm using the weather app, if I'm using YouTube to a certain degree, if I'm just doing music on YouTube, maybe. If I'm using Apple Music, 100%, Spotify, 100%, right? So, again, you can run any application on this outside display like Motorola. Thing is, though, I don't know how many people are going to be running too many applications on this outside display. Now, it does have, again, like I said before, the beautiful Hinge and less of a crease inside. It's still a crease, still there. As he mentions in this video, it's still there. Battery life. And this is another thing, by the way. Multi-Star lets you go ahead and use a lot more applications on the outside display if you want to. Which, again, like I said, is a really cool thing. You can even load up X if you wanted to. But the problem with loading up full applications on this outside display is you can see how you can't even see the full tweet. You can only see part of it because, again, it's such a small outside display. It's very, very small. And also the quality of it, as he mentioned, you can actually see some of the pixels. Small, nitpick in all honesty, because, again, it is an outside display, but it is something to talk about. But again, like I said, it's just for the average consumer who just wants to get in the flippable phone market. It's not dust resistant, but you're going to have, that gap that makes it like pretty much screen on screen. No gap, right? Again, if you get dust in there, you could break it, but that's a huge plus right there. Obviously, wireless charging. Doesn't have Samsung DeX, which I really hope eventually they do add Samsung DeX to the Galaxy Z Flip series. I know they might increase the price if they do that, so I'm kind of on the fence about that. Waterproofness, so you don't have to worry about this phone being destroyed. And, of course, the inside display, well, yes, it is, vulnerable to be broken. This is the 5th generation of this product that inside display by this time is a pretty solid, inside display. And again, the cameras, as he mentions, are pretty okay, with the battery life being pretty much similar to last generation's phone. But again, as he mentioned in his video, it is a huge upgrade. And that's what I've been trying to express on this channel too, is this phone has been leaps and bounds better than the Galaxy Z Flip 4. Now, of course, the Z Fold 5, not as much. Z Fold 5 is an upgrade, but not as much of an upgrade as the Galaxy Z Flip 5 is. So if you are thinking about, picking up the Z Flip 5 and you have Z Flip 4, I would recommend the upgrade. I can't fully say that for the Z Fold 5, but I'm going to get mine on Friday, so I'll tell you guys my review after I get it. But for this phone, again, it's a great phone. It really is. And for the asking price that they ask for, around $1,100, $1,200, depending on the storage option you get, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. And there are different, stores that offer different discounts / deals, so you can get it even cheaper than that. Definitely will say right now, especially after watching his video, but I kind of already made up my mind on this going into this. He kind of just reiterated my point in my head, was that if I didn't buy a Z Fold 5, I probably would buy a Z Flip 5. And if you watch this channel for any length of time, you know that it's crazy to hear me say that, because I hated the Z Flip series for so long. I did own a Z Flip 3. I didn't buy a 4. I didn't buy a 5 yet. But I owned a 3. And the problem I had was I always thought these phones were gimmicks. Not foldable phones. I love foldable phones. Flippable ones. Because it kind of gives you that, nostalgia of thinking back to the Motorola Razr phones way back in the day. So those type of phones kind of oh yeah, I can flip a phone up. That's cool, huh? I have a flip phone in 2023. And then after a week, you're just it's a flip phone. But after, seeing these phones more, I don't own a Z Flip 4, but I have used a Z Flip 4. I completely changed my point of view. So, overall, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.